What's up guys, welcome back. This is Anime Crossover. You'll be watching What If Naruto Was Married to the Goddess of Death in Marvel The End. Now, let's begin. The current mood of the Living Tribunal can be succinctly characterized as one of regret. If an additional word were to be included, it would undoubtedly be despair, profound despair. If they had been aware that Naruto possessed the most powerful artifact, the heart of the universe, they would have refrained from seeking conflict with him. This was not a trial, it was a tragic outcome. They found themselves in a state of desperation, as there appeared to be no viable means of escape. Naruto required only a brief moment to eliminate them and obliterate their presence. At that time, without a higher level of existence initiating a restart of the multiverse, resurrection for the Living Tribunal was not feasible. Alternatively, they may choose to relinquish their efforts and find solace in a peaceful conclusion. Observing the three pain masks on Living Tribunal's face, Naruto experienced a sense of renewal. A person who had the capacity to evaluate his life mere moments ago could now only observe him with a sense of pain and despair. The disparity between the expression on Living Tribunal's face earlier and the current pain mask heightened his delight. Nonetheless, Naruto understood that his ability to behave so confidently in the presence of the Living Tribunal was solely due to the heart of the universe. Upon losing the heart of the universe, he too would find himself in a similar predicament. While the heart of the universe had integrated with his body, it remained capable of being detached. Naruto recognized that what he currently held was not a result of his own strength. If Naruto were to acquire an additional formidable template, he might truly possess the power to disregard the Living Tribunal. At this point, he was solely dependent on the strength of the universe's core, and he had become nothing more than an imitation of a tiger. You have selected two paths for me, so I will likewise select two paths for you. Initially, I will eliminate all of you and thoroughly remove you from a conceptual perspective. Secondly, I will exclusively eliminate the face that symbolizes vengeance, and you will depart with the remaining two faces. Naruto addressed the Living Tribunal with a harsh tone. His tone conveyed a strong sense of resolve. If the Living Tribunal were to insist on selecting the first path, he would indeed take action. He was serious. Despite the potential to draw the attention of OAA, he would proceed with the action. Otherwise, the Living Tribunal would become emboldened if they understood that Naruto refrained from taking their lives. Furthermore, this did not align with Naruto's temperament. His primary interest was addressing various forms of unbelief. Moreover, it is accurate to state that the act of eliminating the Living Tribunal would likely attract the attention of the OAA. However, there remains a possibility that such attention may not be immediate. As long as he refrained from causing destruction to the entire multiverse, OAA would take no action against him. Conversely, it was Beyonder who preferred to venture out and initiate action. The second path was certainly harsh for the Living Tribunal as well. If they opted for the second path, one of the three faces of the Living Tribunal representing vengeance would entirely vanish. In that scenario, Naruto would have the opportunity to express his frustration. Despite Naruto's unfavorable impression of equity, he remained unwilling to take his life. The face representing necessity assumed a neutral role, exhibiting minimal presence or significance. Nevertheless, he would not relinquish the visage symbolizing vengeance. Otherwise, there would certainly be an opportunity for vengeance to seek retribution in the future. The threat needed to be addressed decisively. Additionally, this route offered enhanced security. Naruto experienced anger, yet he refrained from drawing the attention of OAA. The decision now rested with the Living Tribunal. Upon considering Naruto's conditions, each of the three sides of the Living Tribunal responded in distinct manners. The initial aspect was equity. He exhibited the highest level of rationality and the lowest degree of emotional expression. Upon considering Naruto's remarks, he found himself nearly inclined to concur without hesitation. He held little regard for vengeance and was indifferent to the prospect of his own demise. From a logical standpoint, it was more advantageous for one face to perish rather than all three. He contemplated the face symbolizing necessity with great consideration. He was evaluating the practicality of Naruto's proposal. Initially, did Naruto genuinely intend to eliminate just one individual? It is possible that he was strategically allowing them to eliminate one another before ultimately taking them all out himself. If he consented to Naruto's stipulation, would he and equity be preserved? The individual exhibiting the most intense reaction was likely vengeance. The embodiment of vengeance was the shadow aspect of the Living Tribunal. Consequently, upon hearing Naruto's remarks, he promptly became vigilant. He came to the understanding that he was the intended target of Naruto. Simultaneously, he remained concerned that the other two individuals might betray him. There existed a possibility, albeit not without its considerations. It was highly probable that this would occur. Regardless, Vengeance, with its dark and narrow perspective, believed that the other two entities might take this course of action. If it were him, he would have made this decision. I cannot permit you to proceed with this. You are not being truthful with me. We are united in purpose. Your well-being will also be impacted in the event of my passing. Furthermore, this individual is not being truthful with you. He will not allow you to leave. Following my demise, he will turn his aggression towards you. The face symbolizing vengeance fervently implored the other two faces, as if pleading for mercy and urging them not to abandon him. However, shortly thereafter, Naruto's words entirely extinguished his hope. Your choice is not a determining factor. I will make the decision on your behalf. I will eliminate vengeance, and then you may contemplate an attack on me. If you take action against me, I will acknowledge that you have selected the initial course of action. If you do not take action, I will assume that you have opted for the alternative course of action. This approach will ensure that we are no longer entangled. Certainly, you have the option to resist as well. I am not concerned. Naruto remarked with a composed smile. His remarks rendered equity and necessity speechless. It is evident that our resistance is not a priority for you. You possess the essence of the cosmos. What considerations should you keep in mind? Despite our desire to resist, we find ourselves unable to do so. Nonetheless, Naruto's proposal was embraced by them. In any case, they were already in a precarious position in the current situation. Why not consider ceasing resistance? Naruto's hands illuminated with a spectrum of 7 colors and directed a beam towards the visage symbolizing vengeance, while equity and necessity observed in silence. In the midst of the cries for retribution, he vanished without a trace. Even the living tribunal appeared significantly diminished and inadequate in the presence of the heart of the universe. Following the completion of these tasks, Naruto exhaled with a sense of relief. Conversely, equity and necessity expressed relief upon realizing that Naruto refrained from launching an attack against them. Despite the loss of vengeance, they were only lacking a third, or possibly a quarter. This no longer holds significance. The key factor was their survival, correct? This issue is resolved at this point. I trust that this will be our last interaction moving forward. Naruto observed the remaining 2 faces of the living tribunal that had endured the calamity, a smile gracing his features. The living tribunal did not provide an answer to his question, indicating their agreement. Naruto comprehended the situation, thus he refrained from further inquiries. He instead returned Hela to the singular universe. With all matters resolved, he found no further reason to remain here. Simultaneously, he entirely leveled the mountain that represented the living tribunal. In the future, he would no longer have to concern himself with any worries, allowing him to enjoy a peaceful life alongside Hela. They could travel through the universe to explore the diverse landscapes of various planets, witness the spectacular phenomena of planetary explosions, observe the remarkable features of nebulae, and examine the birthmarks they had envisioned. However, what Naruto was unaware of was that his actions had been fully observed by Beyonder. This also increased the Beyonder's interest in him. This individual significantly enhanced the overall experience. It is enjoyable and stimulating. I appreciate it. In the Beyonder's dimension, the Beyonder found Naruto's interactions with the living tribunal increasingly intriguing. From the moment Naruto approached the living tribunal with a lack of humility, he distinguished himself from the others. Any deity of the multiverse who encountered the living tribunal would experience a profound sense of apprehension, particularly the deity of an individual universe. However, after Naruto discovered the identity of the living tribunal, he remained completely unfazed. Certainly, this was also due to Naruto possessing the artifact known as the heart of the universe. Naruto's momentum during his confrontation with the living tribunal significantly surpassed that of the living tribunal. At least he demonstrated immediate proficiency in utilizing the heart of the universe. He altered a minor aspect of reality by utilizing the heart of the universe. Consequently, he prevented the living tribunal from perceiving his method of resurrection following death. He guided the living tribunal into a pit methodically. The knowledge it held was unique among the other deities. This demeanor of remaining unafraid was indeed admirable. This likely explains Beyonder's keen interest in Naruto following his observation of the entire match between Living Tribunal and Naruto. He did not eliminate the Living Tribunal, rather, he simply removed the face symbolizing vengeance permanently. The two remaining faces were preserved. Indeed, their 3 or 4 faces were identical. Their power would be significantly diminished if any of them were lost. The Living Tribunal was intended to be an all-powerful entity, an unparalleled force of existence. However, it was now missing one aspect. It would clearly impede the future progress of the trials. Beyonder regarded Naruto's actions as the most strategic. The initial event involved Naruto obliterating the visage symbolizing vengeance. He acted in self-defense, as he believed his life was in danger. Secondly, he allowed equity and necessity to remain because these two aspects did not present a threat to him. Conversely, equity had provided him with an opportunity for survival. Naruto allowed them to leave for that reason. The approach taken ensured that both the grievances and the principles were distinctly articulated. He did not take the lives of innocent individuals without justification. Every action he took was purposeful. Either someone intended to harm him, or Naruto needed to address these individuals who lacked an understanding of the vastness of existence. He encountered the darker aspects of divinity. He maintained his composure and humility upon attaining divinity. Having eliminated the face that symbolized vengeance, the other two faces posed no threat to him whatsoever. He possessed the heart of the universe, granting him the ability to act according to his desires. Additionally, Naruto instigated disputes among all aspects of the Living Tribunal, effectively allowing them to eliminate one another. That is quite harsh. The description of the law of the jungle, survival of the fittest, was articulated with precision. Fascinating. Upon thorough analysis of the situation, Beyonder felt a deep admiration for Naruto. This was an efficient approach to achieve multiple objectives simultaneously. This is quite thrilling. This unpleasant sensation was something that Beyonder had not encountered for quite some time. This sensation had resurfaced, and it was Naruto who had elicited it within him. Beyonder transcended the very domain itself. He did not need to focus on a minor figure resembling Naruto. In comparison to Beyonder, Naruto may appear as an inconsequential figure in the expansive universe, despite the significant increase in his strength. Within a decade, he acquired a remarkable power that eluded many other deities, despite their extensive periods of isolation. It was quite unusual. How and where did he acquire that power? The heart of the universe has also manifested in an inexplicable manner. However, it was the emergence of the heart of the universe that led Beyonder to discover such a captivating Naruto. Despite Naruto's significant abilities that allowed him to surpass many gods of the multiverse, he remained incomparable to the Beyonder. In relation to the vast Marvel multiverse, the Beyonder can be viewed as a sovereign figure, consistently maintaining the highest status. This existence transcended all within the multiverse. His strength was indisputable. Various facts indicated that Beyonder should not have an interest in a human like Naruto. It is possible that he did not fully encompass the entirety of the multiverse in his perspective. However, he was now influenced by Naruto. This demonstrated a notably robust and engaging interest. The Beyonder may have sought to entertain himself by provoking him. He appeared to be attentive to every detail concerning Naruto. That is the reason Beyonder formulated a new idea at that moment. He appeared to have discovered a source of happiness within this multiverse. He observed with a light-hearted demeanor the direction in which Naruto had escorted Hela. It is clear that Naruto returned Hela to the single universe, as her survival was contingent upon being in that specific realm. He could not permit him to depart. Beyonder anticipated that Naruto would conceal himself within the core of the singular universe, after which he would embark on a journey throughout the universe alongside Hela. How can they continue in this manner? Beyonder has recently developed an interest in Naruto. He aimed to gain a comprehensive understanding of him from start to finish. The focus was primarily on competence. At this stage, Naruto could no longer remain silent. He needed to prompt him to take action. Naruto would utilize additional power solely when confronting the adversary. This approach would enable Beyonder to gain greater visibility. He had developed a new idea. Should this idea be implemented, he ought to be able to observe Naruto from all perspectives. Beyonder smiled knowingly at the thought. He believed that he had complete control over everything. It is time to become aware. All the principal deities. Beyonder issued a summoning order to all the influential figures of the multiverse as he spoke. The multiverse was under his command. Such a task was remarkably straightforward. Consequently, this summoning order could be readily issued by Beyonder. Why was the summoning order issued solely to the most powerful individuals of the multiverse, rather than to those within a single universe? Naruto has now acquired abilities that extend beyond a single universe. He possessed the most formidable artifact of the Marvel multiverse, the heart of the universe. At this point, his strength matched that of the most formidable entities across the multiverse. Only individuals possessing equal strength to his own could compel him to take action. The multiverse contained a multitude of deities. Certainly, not all deities within the multiverse can be classified as powerful. Moreover, Beyonder sought to explore beyond that. His desire was for something enjoyable. An opportunity that is even more thrilling. He sought to exert control over all aspects, including Naruto. Beyonder appreciated that sensation. He was the only deity. He was confident that all individuals, particularly the formidable entities of the multiverse, would find the heart of the universe to be of significant interest. He was pleased to share the information. This approach would bring him great satisfaction. This may have been the complex concept proposed by Beyonder. Beyonder emitted a ray of light, which was conveyed in conjunction with the gate of time and space. It included a message, or perhaps a signal. This served as the communication between the Beyonder and the formidable entities of the multiverse. This illumination was not a standard illumination. This light was beyond the perception of the gods of the single universe, as they lacked the strength to behold it. Beyonder intentionally ensured that other deities would remain unaware of his light, preventing them from obstructing it. Beyonder transmitted it through the gate of time and space for that reason. This light was unrestricted by speed and could not be obstructed. It directly engaged the intellects of the deities of the multiverse. The satellite system of SWORD was unable to detect it. This was the capability of Beyonder. He intentionally reached out to the influential figures of the multiverse and conveyed the information that Naruto possessed the heart of the universe. The heart of the universe stands as an extraordinary artifact within the Marvel multiverse. This was a formidable weapon capable of defeating the living tribunal. Any deity would find themselves tempted if it were brought to their attention. Beyonder had also understood this aspect. Upon learning of the heart of the universe, these formidable entities promptly came to consciousness. Gradually, they regained their composure, as though their enthusiasm for the matter had waned. Their reasoning indicated that this matter required careful consideration and could not be expedited. It was essential for them to execute a thorough plan. The core of the universe. Has the heart of the universe manifested? It is not surprising that I observed a singular universe capable of releasing such a substantial amount of energy. Despite having already entered the enigmatic spacetime, he is still able to perceive it clearly. Such power is difficult to conceal. I experienced it as well. I was not anticipating that it would be the heart of the universe. Will the heart of the universe finally make its appearance? What caused its sudden appearance? This is an aspect that piques my interest significantly. An unexpected announcement captivated the most formidable individuals across the multiverse. They found this to be quite unusual. The individuals had previously acquired knowledge about Naruto and understood that he was not easily intimidated. Nonetheless, the singular aspect that piqued everyone's curiosity was the sudden emergence of the heart of the universe. What led to it being in Naruto's possession? What is the process by which Naruto obtained the heart of the universe? The questions posed led to considerable confusion among all participants. Nevertheless, it would not deter them from pursuing the heart of the universe. They intended to identify the root cause of this issue prior to taking any action. Once we locate Naruto and inquire, we will gain a comprehensive understanding. This is satisfactory. The multiverse was home to numerous deities revered by its powerful inhabitants. These deities sought the essence of the universe with great ambition. Each individual sought to obtain the heart of the universe to enhance their capabilities. With possession of the heart of the universe, they held the power to act freely across the multiverse. At a minimum, they would not have to concern themselves with the possibility of other powerful entities from the multiverse creating issues for them at any moment. Fascinating. Beyonder observed this occurrence. All aspects were under his management. He was pleased to observe that the script was progressing in alignment with his description. His task was to accurately mark the coordinates of Naruto's universe, enabling the powerful entities of the multiverse to locate him with greater efficiency. This approach would enhance the experience and ensure his enjoyment. As soon as the coordinates were released, the multiverse experienced a significant upheaval. The level of excitement among everyone increased significantly. They perceived that Beyonder was providing them with support. This was due to their understanding that Beyonder possessed greater strength than Naruto. Although they may not have been able to surpass Naruto, there was no need for concern as they had the backing of Beyonder. Moreover, they were the most formidable entities within the multiverse, making it conceivable for them to overcome Naruto. Naruto's war record was exceptionally impressive. He had achieved this level of strength in just 10 years, yet the details of his journey remained unknown to others. No sources could be located, either. Naruto's identity has generated significant curiosity. They required a comprehensive understanding of all aspects before initiating the search for the heart of the universe. It was not their initiative to seek understanding, rather, it was Beyonder who aimed to comprehend Naruto. The formidable entities of the multiverse served merely as instruments for the Beyonder. These were merely some pawns, a collection of compliant pawns. All of them were interconnected through parallel dimensions of time and space. The conversations were transmitted across time and space. The connection was intentionally established by Beyonder. This topic was exclusive, as access was limited to a select group. This was unequivocal. An individual with strength can achieve their desires. Is Naruto actually set on Earth? Naruto possesses significant strength. He would certainly fit well within the multiverse, wouldn't he? Will this not disrupt the established laws of the single universe? I am surprised that he was not eliminated. It is reported that following Naruto's victory over the five gods, he became a target of the living tribunal. Are you able to deduce the outcome? A group of influential individuals was engaging in discussions to gain a comprehensive understanding of the situation. What was your experience? Please express your thoughts. Naruto successfully overcame the living tribunal and even eliminated the face symbolizing vengeance. This is an occurrence that genuinely took place. I was initially taken aback by it as well. What is happening? In an unexpected turn of events, these influential individuals expressed their astonishment collectively. The living tribunal was regarded as a deity overseeing all trials within the Marvel multiverse, possessing unparalleled authority. They were astonished that he was so easily defeated by Naruto. It was quite difficult to accept, given their awareness of Naruto's capabilities. A few days ago, Naruto's power was slightly greater than that of a single universe. What methods did he employ to acquire power that transcends the multiverse? It is likely that the heart of the universe provided him with assistance. The foremost artifact in the Marvel multiverse was undeniably impressive. This served as a significant revelation for all involved. This was the reason behind everyone's ambition to acquire the heart of the universe. This was particularly true for Amatsu, recognized as one of the formidable individuals within the multiverse. He was already imbued with a strong sense of lethal determination. I will acquire the heart of the universe regardless of the challenges involved. Amatsu has reached a decision. Given that the heart of the universe possesses the strength to overcome the living tribunal, it follows that its wielder ought to be granted divine power. This surpassed the capabilities of numerous deities. Unexpectedly, Naruto was fortunate to acquire the heart of the universe. He overcame the living tribunal utilizing the heart of the universe. This battle record is truly impressive. Beyonder was pleased to witness the scene and the ensuing dialogues taking place in his realm. At a minimum, these formidable entities were already adhering to his directives. Beyonder believed it was the appropriate moment to unveil an even more impressive strategy to incite greater greed among these formidable entities of the multiverse. He aimed to enhance their aspiration for the heart of the universe. Eliminating Naruto grants access to the heart of the universe, a force surpassing even the living tribunal. It is unnecessary to bring this up, as it is common knowledge among everyone present. Beyonder presented all the facts clearly and comprehensively. They were contemplating whether they could acquire the heart of the universe or if it chose its master independently. Beyonder informed them that if any of them were to eliminate Naruto, they would be granted the heart of the universe. In other terms, it was feasible to possess power exceeding that of the living tribunal. This was an extraordinary artifact that exceeded the capabilities of the Infinity Stones. Following his announcement, the formidable entities of the multiverse were nearing the brink of madness. They were eager to locate and eliminate Naruto in order to obtain the heart of the universe from his possession. This marks the inception of their legend. However, Beyonder appeared to believe that this bomb was insufficient, and he needed to ignite the apprehensive hearts of all the powerful entities within the multiverse. Consequently, he proceeded to articulate his thoughts at a measured pace. I kindly ask everyone to take a moment and allow me to complete my thoughts. By eliminating Naruto and acquiring the heart of the universe, you will gain access to the Beyond Realm and secure your place among the Beyonder God race. Beyond Realm represented an expansive reality beyond the confines of the Marvel multiverse. The Marvel multiverse is merely a drop of water in the vast ocean that is the Beyond Realm. Beyond Realm was regarded as the destination that the gods of the multiverse aspired to reach. This approach would enable them to gain both strength and support. Their status will also be elevated. Additionally, the Beyonders race exhibited a high degree of mystery. As deities of the multiverse, they were undoubtedly aware of the Beyonders race. They recognized that these individuals were influential figures who should not be challenged. If provoked, their only outcome would be demise. Moreover, they would not experience rebirth, as their demise would be of a nature that vanishes entirely from existence. Upon first learning of it, even the deities of the multiverse chose to maintain their distance. Simultaneously, they anticipated participating in this race, as they had consistently sought greater strength and advantages. While it posed risks, it was equally more magnificent. This is the reason all the formidable individuals of the multiverse were eager to make the attempt. They maintained an unwavering confidence in their abilities. They believed they possessed considerable strength, equating it with that of Naruto. Is this information accurate? Is it genuinely feasible to access the Beyond Realm and become a member of the Beyonders race? They were certain that Beyonders' words reflected his sense of dignity. He surpassed all the deities of the multiverse. He had no reason to deceive them. There is no need for concern regarding this matter. Nevertheless, the formidable individuals of the multiverse remained hesitant to accept its veracity, as they understood that not every deity possessed the ability to access the Beyond Realm. The Beyond Realm represented a significant reality. It was outside of their capabilities. The entire multiverse was successfully created by them. Subsequently, they employed various concepts to generate life. They endeavored to develop a diverse range of individuals, subsequently taking advantage of them. The Beyonders race exhibited extreme cruelty. It is important to note that the deities of the multiverse harbored envy towards their power, as they themselves lacked it. It seemed that individuals often envied what others possessed rather than appreciating their own circumstances. This type of greed is insatiable and may also lead to detrimental consequences for them. There was a possibility that they might not return. In that moment, Beyonder drew the gods nearer to the brink of madness. Everyone was prepared to take action. Their excitement was palpable, as if they had already secured the heart of the universe within their grasp. By successfully eliminating Naruto, they would not only acquire the heart of the universe but also gain access to the Beyond Realm, thereby becoming part of the Beyonders race. Beyonder observed the situation with great satisfaction. He did not harbor any animosity towards Naruto, rather, he found him to be somewhat intriguing. He expressed a desire to engage and play with him. Beyonder sought to witness Naruto's complete power, believing that he had yet to attain his full potential. The true motivation behind Beyonder's actions was ultimately self-serving satisfaction. He sought to fulfill his intrinsic requirements. Beyonder sought to observe the extent of Naruto's abilities that remained unexamined. This was the rationale behind his chosen method. Furthermore, this type of competition between the two formidable entities could provide him with a clearer perspective on Naruto's exceptional abilities. Simultaneously, it has the potential to enhance Naruto's capabilities. As long as the most formidable individuals in the multiverse posed challenges for Naruto, he would remain unable to conceal himself. Concurrently, he would be compelled to take action. The exhibition of such power in a brief time frame could also illustrate Naruto's strength. Regarding the potential outcomes, who might emerge victorious and who could face defeat. Despite having anticipated the final outcome, Beyonder remained highly engaged in the process. Beyonder resembled a skilled screenwriter crafting a narrative that met his own standards of excellence. Beyonder's meticulously crafted script focused on Naruto. The character served as the male protagonist in Beyonder's script. Currently, all the powerful entities in the multiverse are playing supporting roles. This was merely a technique employed by Beyonder to monitor Naruto. Beyonder was taken aback by the unwavering confidence exhibited by the formidable individuals across the multiverse. This issue stemmed from the reverence and apprehension that the powerful entities of the multiverse held for the Beyonder. They were unable to risk offending Beyonder. As a result, they were unable to pose numerous inquiries. What if their abrupt action provoked Beyonder's ire? That was an unproductive outcome. The battle record of Beyonder was a source of considerable apprehension for everyone involved. It was even more daunting than Naruto. All the deities comprehended his intentions clearly. Consequently, they refrained from expressing any complaints. Ultimately, by eliminating Naruto, they would not only satisfy the Beyonder but also gain an opportunity to enter the Beyond realm and join the ranks of the Beyonders. Of greater significance, they had the opportunity to acquire the divine artifact, the heart of the universe. This held significant importance for them. With possession of the heart of the universe, they would possess the necessary strength to endure within the multiverse. They have the capability to overcome any opponent. This was highly appealing to the deities of the multiverse as well. It is surprising to consider how our universe may evolve from this point forward. I believe that significant transformations are inevitable with the emergence of the heart of the universe. Naruto had even managed to defeat the Living Tribunal. With the absence of the face representing revenge, will the Living Tribunal be able to effectively manage our universe moving forward? Will he continue to engage in this type of trial work in the future? The Living Tribunal is still capable of accomplishing it, correct? There was a period of concern regarding the fate of this multiverse, given the critical role held by the Living Tribunal. That was the reason they were considering their own future while dividing their benefits. The absence of a trial by the Living Tribunal would lead to chaos within the multiverse, as many of its most powerful individuals lacked the necessary wisdom. They were not more powerful than the Living Tribunal, however. They believed that with the absence of a face representing vengeance, he should have diminished in strength. The visage embodying vengeance consistently exuded a strong sense of lethal intent, which served as a deterrent against engaging in brutal actions. All deities believed they might exercise a degree of recklessness moving forward. What relevance does the matter of the Living Tribunal hold for you? Focus on matters that require your attention. Please expedite the necessary actions. What is going on? A group of misguided deities. Suddenly, Beyonder began to express his discontent towards them. He summoned them here to create difficulties for Naruto, not for the purpose of engaging in idle chatter. That is why these formidable individuals of the multiverse were regarded merely as instruments. In that moment, Beyonder experienced a sense of regret. Still, he thought this group of people could be a good way to test Naruto first. So, he'd get a chance to see just how strong Naruto really is. Beyonder thought that if he nailed this script, it would turn out to be pretty amazing. He had everything under control, after all. Beyonder really didn't pay much attention to the powerful folks in the multiverse. He really couldn't stand them. Even if they were gods, they were still just gods of the multiverse. They were just like a needle in a haystack next to Beyond Realm, totally useless. Hey, we get it, we messed up. Well, take care of it right away. Hey, no need to be upset. We've got this under control. No need to stress. We're going to put in the effort to step into the Beyond Realm. Absolutely, becoming a member of the Beyonders race is my dream. As soon as everyone caught wind of Beyonder's roar, they couldn't help but feel a strong urge to survive. Even though they had no clue why Beyonder was acting so aggressively towards this Naruto or why he wanted them to take him out, it just didn't matter to them. This was really all about what was beneficial. They would do it as long as it worked out for them. If someone else had asked them to do this, they probably wouldn't have done it. It's hard to believe anyone would actually go for a move like that, right? Let's be real, Naruto wasn't exactly a pushover. They decided to go along with this because they found the 3 conditions proposed by Beyonder really intriguing. This kind of benefit was something they never even dreamed of. So, they were ready to go for it, even though the risks of failing were pretty significant. Beyonder was pretty pleased with how these gods performed. If you really want it, just keep it to yourself. Beyonder wasn't a fan of gossiping at all. It just didn't make any sense at all. Also, these types of words just didn't have any real substance. It was really just some casual conversation. Beyonder would totally never let a god like that hang around in his Beyond realm. When Beyonder mentioned that any god of the multiverse could kill Naruto for a shot at entering the Beyond realm, he wasn't being truthful. He wouldn't allow them to step into the Beyond realm. Beyonder was just kidding around. He just mentioned that to push the gods of the multiverse to put in more effort when it comes to dealing with Naruto. Also, Beyonder thought that these gods of the multiverse just couldn't take Naruto down. Those were simply his tools. He was doing all of this to make the whole script even more amazing. Beyonder got the gods of the multiverse all riled up to check out the showdown between Naruto and them. He was having a great time, and he just couldn't pull himself away. So, over in another dimension, Naruto ended up bringing Hela back to Earth too. They needed to get back to the single universe as quickly as they could. If it weren't for that, Hela, who had been hanging around in the multiverse for quite a while, wouldn't have been able to make it, even with Naruto's divine power backing her up. It was a bit awkward, to be honest. Even though they were stuck in just one universe, they really didn't have any say in the matter. But they still had plenty of other options. Naruto already had the heart of the universe, so he thought it would be awesome to travel around the universe with Hela. All they needed to do was live a good life and have fun with it. There was no need to bring those things up since Naruto and Hela were just a young couple. They were a couple who really loved each other. Naruto and Hela really needed a world just for the two of them. They really just didn't want to deal with it. But, you know, there was really nothing they could do since trouble just seemed to be right on their heels all the time. Naruto always believed that the only way to get what he wanted was by getting stronger. That was the only way he could keep Hela safe. That was the moment he could finally live the life he dreamed of with his Hela. Hey Naruto, now that you've sorted out the whole living tribunal situation, what's next on your agenda? Hela was really curious about this because she thought that since Naruto had taken down the living tribunal, it would definitely make waves with the other gods. It could definitely surprise OAA and a few transcendents. When the moment arrived, it was clear that things wouldn't be so straightforward. Hela could sense death, which made her feel worried as well. Even though she didn't quite get Naruto's ability, she realized it was smart to be cautious. This is something we really shouldn't overlook. What more can we try? Since we've figured this out, how about we take a fun trip around the universe? Naruto spoke to Hela in a calm manner, sensing her worry already. He could sense her subtle expression since he had already connected with Hela in his heart. That's why he totally got Hela's mood. Naruto was feeling pretty down too. He really made his beautiful Hela worry. This really shouldn't have happened. Naruto said this to help calm Hela's worries. He could already feel that a god was watching him even before he faced the living tribunal. It might seem like it was looking down on him. That god was watching his every move. But, wow, this god's power was super strong, and Naruto just couldn't sense it at all. This was because that god existed outside of time and space. That god must be really powerful since even the space-time shield didn't do anything. Being watched all the time was very uncomfortable. But, you know, aside from feeling a bit uneasy, Naruto couldn't shake off the worry that this might mean someone important was keeping an eye on him without him knowing. I can't believe that God would take a moment to have some fun with me. Naruto couldn't resist wearing a teasing grin on his face. Even though he felt a bit anxious, Naruto couldn't help but chuckle to himself. This smirk had a bit of depth to it since Naruto was all about those exciting things too. Hey Naruto, you doing alright? Hela noticed Naruto's shifting emotions and realized that something was off. But since Naruto didn't want her to stress out, she decided not to ask. It was really just a little sign of care. Even now, Hela still felt like she was in a dream. Naruto totally took down that super powerful living tribunal. Oh, it's really not a big deal, so no need to stress about it. Naruto didn't show even a hint of fear to Hela because he believed he was the only one who needed to be concerned about this. Even though Naruto had dealt with what seemed like the big threat, the real danger was still lurking around, waiting to show itself. It's not clear when it will show up. Naruto thought it was pointless to dwell on this. If it was the Life Court or any of the other gods, they better think twice before causing him any trouble because their fate was already sealed. Besides getting killed or being convinced to back off, there just wasn't any other option. I'm sure you will handle it just fine. I really believed that you would come back to life, just like today. I figured you had something up your sleeve. I knew you wouldn't go down that easily. Today Hela felt a bit different, didn't it? If it happened before, she might have come off as a bit cold. She just started talking a mile a minute when she saw the living tribunal crush Naruto until he vanished. Honestly, Hela felt a bit scared. She was worried that Naruto might actually vanish. This feeling really seemed to touch her soul. You know, Naruto really has come a long way from being just an ordinary guy to where he is now. Hela had no idea that Naruto was backed by the system. That's why his strength could slowly become totally unmanageable. He had even gotten his hands on the divine weapon, the heart of the universe. He'll never forget this experience. Naruto just stood there, not saying a word, as he noticed the fear in Hela's eyes. He wrapped his arms around Hela and softly ran his fingers through her hair. He was really pleased with his wife, and he felt quite happy too. The living tribunal really ought to find a way to get some revenge down the line. But Naruto quickly pushed that thought aside. Even without the living tribunal, there were tons of powerful gods out there, just like the living tribunal, who might come looking for revenge. Just relax and don't overthink it. Just let it go. Naruto and Hela shared a warm hug. The sunlight was shining down on them right then. That scene was just so beautiful. They held each other close and stayed that way without letting go for even a second. What are you in the mood to eat today? I'll whip it up for you myself. Out of the blue, Hela asked. Out of nowhere, Naruto sensed that the vibe had shifted since he was aware that Hela's cooking skills weren't quite up to par yet. She had been learning for 10 years, but it just didn't seem to make a difference. This was definitely something that brought them a lot of joy. But, you know, those were Hela's plans, so Naruto had no choice but to eat them with a heavy heart. I'm here to help you out. Naruto thought that since he couldn't stop her, they might as well do it together. Well, at least he could whip up some dishes that were actually edible. Naruto felt a bit of happiness when he thought about this. Hold on a sec. Why do you look down on me? Hela must have sensed something because she jumped into action right away. I'm not sure I can. I thought you might be feeling a bit worn out, so I just wanted to lend a hand. Naruto quickly adopted an innocent expression, acting like Hela had made a mistake in accusing him. With his playful tone, it felt like he was being honest. This time, everything was just bursting with beautiful colors. But little did they know, danger was quietly creeping up on them while they were lost in their joy. Naruto was really hoping for a chill day after sorting out the whole living tribunal situation. Naruto and Hela probably didn't think danger would show up so quickly and without any heads up. Plus, it would happen when they were totally caught off guard. Two people somewhere else were really happy that Naruto was back. I really didn't see Naruto coming back to life. Captain Marvel was a bit taken aback. Do you think Naruto might have agreed to the living tribunal's second condition, which was to step into the multiverse? But it really shouldn't be like that. If he was following the living tribunal's orders, then he should be hanging out in the multiverse right now instead of showing up on Earth. But if Naruto didn't follow the rules, how did he end up coming back to life? Captain Marvel couldn't shake off these doubts that kept echoing in her mind. Captain Marvel really wanted Naruto to make it through since he had done a solid for the Earth. Also, they had used the satellite to see that Naruto was back on Earth. That's why they were feeling so nervous. This universe just didn't feel like it belonged to Naruto, and honestly, they were really struggling to deal with it all anymore. While Naruto was on Earth, they had to keep an eye on other Earthlings, worried that one of them might provoke Naruto and lead to an attack on Earth. If he went on the offensive, it could mean the end of the Earth as we know it. This kind of stuff just isn't enjoyable. Nick Fury had his fears too. Anyway, he really had to pay attention to that because it was part of his job. He needed to protect the safety of our planet. What's the living tribunal all about? What do you mean? Is it something really serious? Even though Nick Fury wasn't familiar with the living tribunal, he definitely recognized Naruto's name. He always thought that whenever something had to do with Naruto, it was a pretty serious deal. They really need to keep an eye on this and manage it carefully. The living tribunal is a god that's even stronger than Naruto. Didn't I just step outside when I spotted an alien god coming to the edge of our Earth? I went to find out why he was here. Later, I discovered that the living tribunal was actually here for Naruto. Could it be that he lost to Naruto since Naruto came back alive? So, you get what's happening now, yeah. It's really just that simple. Captain Marvel let out a sigh since Nick Fury was unaware of the living tribunal and gave him a quick rundown on it. This introduction was straightforward and easy to grasp. He just needed to get the general idea of what was happening. It turns out that knowing too much wasn't really great for him either. Captain Marvel thought she might know a bit too much, leaving her feeling a tad regretful. But she was really curious about something too. She was really curious about how Naruto managed to defeat the living tribunal. Wait, are you telling me that Naruto took down a god who was even stronger than he was? Nick Fury had a tough time wrapping his head around the idea of God. Absolutely. Captain Marvel responded with a hint of impatience, believing that Nick Fury really needed to be in the loop. They really had to rely on one another, after all. So, we really shouldn't upset Naruto any further. I need to figure out the best way to ensure this big guy is having a good time here on Earth. Nick Fury didn't really seem to care about what the living tribunal had to say since he wasn't aware of it. All he knew was that Naruto had taken down the living tribunal, who was even stronger than he was. He just wanted to find out that Naruto had set another record. So, Nick Fury needed to ensure that nothing would get in the way of Naruto. If not, the Earth would be done for. It would totally vanish. We definitely need to sort out some plans. Captain Marvel got him too since they both had to figure things out on their own. That was totally fine. Captain Marvel had to team up too. If not, they'd totally be swamped when all this stuff starts piling up. Hey, check it out, this satellite is starting to act up again. Out of nowhere, Nick Fury yelled and started to freak out. Recently, a bunch of gods, with names we don't really know, have shown up on Earth. Also, these gods were really secretive. They just slipped in and out without making a sound. But you know, Nick Fury thought it was fine as long as they weren't a threat to Earth. If not, the Earth would be in big trouble. Really? Hey, did another strong dude from the multiverse drop by to join the party? Do you think it might be looking for Naruto too? Captain Marvel was pretty taken aback too. Didn't the living tribunal just head out? Why did another god show up? Also, it came from a different dimension. What on earth was this god of the multiverse doing in just one universe? Since Naruto arrived on Earth, it feels like there's been a constant flow of gods showing up to find him. When will he be able to shake off those troubles? Are you planning to check it out? What if it ends up being bad for our planet? Nick Fury couldn't shake off his thoughts about Earth. Even though he might think it's no big deal, for the gods of the multiverse, wiping out an Earth is as simple as flipping a hand. But he wasn't brave enough to take that chance. Alright, he'll head over and take a look. Captain Marvel was the only one who could head over and take a look at it. She didn't see it as a problem at all since she could fly at the speed of light. She could just pop up right in front of this intruder in an instant. Doing it this way could really simplify things. Captain Marvel stood before one of the most powerful beings in the multiverse and realized she had no idea who the god in front of her was. But she realized that the god standing before her was anything but ordinary. That guy was definitely not a good one. Hey there, can I ask what brought you to Earth? She repeated the same words she had told the living tribunal. That event was truly a miracle. Even Captain Marvel couldn't believe it when she said those words. She was surprised to find herself repeating her words like that. So, basically, two amazing gods showed up on Earth in no time at all. What's happening with the Earth these days? What made it so popular all of a sudden? But Captain Marvel just kept going. She needed to figure out who this god was. This god seemed pretty fierce and evil, but is it really going to stir up trouble on Earth? Do you think it would hurt their planet? Captain Marvel was really focused on that. As long as it doesn't harm Earth, it's totally welcome to come and visit. It looked like she just couldn't settle down after everything she'd been through. Who I am is really not your concern. So, who are you? How could you possibly question me? Amatsu definitely wasn't familiar with Captain Marvel. Even if he knew her, had still just not care. He wouldn't even look at her because he thought he was the most powerful god around. Sure, he could totally wipe out the multiverse if he wanted to. So, that's why he felt confident enough to act all arrogant, huh? He showed up here looking for Naruto, and he really wanted to be the first to track him down. He found out from Beyonder that Naruto had merged with the Heart of the Universe. The Heart of the Universe was the super powerful artifact that actually helped Naruto take down the Living Tribunal. With the news about the Heart of the Universe out in the open, it seems like a lot of big players in the multiverse are getting pretty greedy. They really wanted to have that artifact because it was super appealing to them. Everyone wanted to get even stronger so they could do whatever they pleased. This kind of thrilling experience was what gave their lives meaning in this huge multiverse. This looked like the best way for the strong to show what they could do. They really needed to enjoy such an amazing honor. As soon as Amatsu thought about the Heart of the Universe, a greedy look crossed his face. What he needed to do now was to get Naruto to agree to the showdown. This was his one shot at making a splash across the whole multiverse. He just had to share that he, Amatsu, had taken on Naruto and totally nailed the challenge. So, he needed to get Naruto to step up and take on his challenge face to face. Hey there, I'm Captain Marvel. Hey, it doesn't matter who you are, but if you're thinking about causing harm to Earth, I'm not going to let you in. Captain Marvel was just as stiff as always. Yazbek, standing right in front of her, was dressed in red too, just like she was. His hat was red too. His face was the only part that looked human. Just by looking at this color, Captain Marvel could tell that Amatsu wasn't on the good side. This god was pretty dangerous. Do you really have the qualifications to say that? You might end up regretting that. Amatsu burst into laughter. Out of nowhere, it felt like he had lost his mind. Also, his expression was really quite sinister. Captain Marvel couldn't shake off the feeling of disgust when she saw this. Honestly, she wasn't a fan of seeing things like this. Captain Marvel was considering taking on the monster right in front of her. But Amatsu just stayed put. Instead, he just vanished into thin air, leaving her all alone and completely stunned. So, Captain Marvel was looking to use the satellite to figure out where Amatsu had gone. She really hoped he wouldn't head to Earth. She thought that as long as Amatsu was around, the Earth was bound to face some trouble. She couldn't shake off that uneasy feeling. It was just getting more intense. Killing Captain Marvel just isn't enjoyable. I really need to take advantage of her skills. Amatsu really wanted to take on Naruto in the end. If Naruto hadn't shown up on his own, he wouldn't have been able to find him since Naruto had already created a protective layer around himself. The protective layer was really the key thing that kept Naruto and Hela hidden. One key reason Amatsu chose not to attack Captain Marvel was that he believed Captain Marvel could be crucial in his upcoming challenge against Naruto. He needed to take on Naruto. First, he needed to tell Naruto about his amazing strength. Then he would make Naruto give him the Heart of the Universe without a choice. He was even considering ways to take Naruto out. So, this was Amatsu's plan. He had no idea who he was up against. Amatsu was pretty much the strongest mutant, and honestly, he was just a total madman. Hey Captain Marvel, is everything alright on Earth? Nick Fury was still sweating bullets. He was totally caught off guard when one god just left, and another one showed up on Earth. Who can handle this? I have a feeling something's going to happen pretty soon. This Amatsu is really not as straightforward as it seems. He didn't just drop by Earth for a little visit. He's not quite on the same wavelength as the Living Tribunal. I really think he's just being totally unreasonable and a bit of a madman. Captain Marvel was feeling a bit angry too. She had no idea that Amatsu was thinking about her at that moment. Sure, she might not be as powerful as the gods of the multiverse, but hey, she could definitely be seen as a god in her own right. So, what's up with Amatsu being so cocky? Why was he so full of himself that he just brushed her off? But what really had her on edge was the thought that this Amatsu might have come here for Naruto. Honestly, Captain Marvel was still a bit worried about Naruto. Back in the day, Naruto saved the whole Earth, so it makes sense that she felt grateful. Madman. Did he leave? Nick Fury should definitely be the one most worried about whether Amatsu has left Earth or not. Nick Fury felt very uncomfortable about the situation since Captain Marvel had dubbed him a maniac. Perhaps they should hide. Captain Marvel was understandably concerned. After all, Amatsu was not easy. Even if he's gone, he can always come back whenever he wants. Captain Marvel ceased speaking and went into deep concentration. Naruto, listen. Hela's remarks drew Naruto's attention, and he continued to eat. This was the food they had worked so hard to prepare together, and it must not be squandered. However, Hela could sense death. She had sensed something long ago. She waited for Naruto to speak first, so she didn't say anything. But Naruto ate as if nothing had occurred. Eat first. There is no need to rush. Naruto appeared to be very calm. Whatever is going to happen, will happen. He was unable to stop it. Naruto wasn't frightened of anything because he already possessed the most powerful heavenly relic, the heart of the universe. Even if he confronted the gods of the multiverse, he could cope with them, no matter how powerful they were. He was not even somewhat nervous. This type of item could instill confidence in individuals, and that confidence was founded on the foundation of strength. In truth, Naruto had already sensed Amatsu. He came particularly to locate Naruto. He was puzzled as to why Amatsu had come seeking for him. Could it be related to those mysterious eyes? Naruto instantly remembered the pair of eyes that had been monitoring him. He'd never forget the expression in those eyes. Perhaps this multiverse deity was here for the heart of the universe. Naruto was perplexed. However, he intended to disregard Amatsu. Despite being a total maniac, Amatsu was able to maintain order in everything. He could ignore time and space, as well as all of the multiverse's laws. Amatsu could even destroy the entire multiverse, resetting the entire chronology and karma. This mutant person, who claimed to be the most powerful in the multiverse, could still battle. However, Naruto did not think this guy was worth mentioning. He didn't care about him since he wasn't a good fit for him. Furthermore, because Amatsu had not injured him, Naruto believed there was no need to murder him. It just didn't make sense to murder him. Naruto would never do something unnecessary. If he had any free time, he may as well spend it with Hela. He grew comfortable because it was such a warm day. Hela noticed Naruto's confidence and immediately stopped worried. Because she understood that as long as Naruto wore that expression, everything was good. Then they returned to eating. Amatsu, on the other hand, thought Naruto had continued to ignore him, and it was time for him to act. He felt like Naruto had given him 1,000,000 points of scorn. This was something Amatsu could not bear. He had nearly gone insane. He needed to let Naruto know that his abilities were far beyond his imagining. Amatsu was a mutant with no life limit, therefore he felt confident. His first challenge was to write a challenge letter to Naruto. The primary goal of this challenge letter was to drive Naruto out. Amatsu understood he needed to be the most cruel. His severely damaged face bore a fierce grimace. It felt as if triumph was already within his reach. Little did he realize, this was only the beginning. In truth, this situation was already over before it began since Naruto did not take him seriously at all. Why was he doing these things? However, Amatsu was overconfident. He felt like he was stronger than Naruto. That was why he was determined to outdo Naruto and push him to come out of hiding. The first thing Amatsu did was destroy the Andromeda Galaxy in this particular reality. This explosion caused the Andromeda Galaxy to vanish from the notion permanently. It also sparked a massive uproar. Amatsu was overjoyed as he saw all of this unfold since he believed it was enough to get Naruto to pay attention to him. To inform him that Amatsu posed a threat to his life. Amatsu thought Naruto would take the task seriously. In addition, he was publicizing Naruto's terrible actions all across the world. This was his challenge letter. Every time he brought havoc on Earth, he viewed it as a challenge. Amatsu felt as if he was forcing Naruto to come out of hiding by doing these things. That was all. He even penetrated the satellite system and destroyed SWORD's satellite system. This explosion almost terrified Nick Fury. He had no idea where this beast came from. Why did he just destroy the satellite system without saying anything? And why did he depart the moment it exploded? They could hear his laughing, which he purposefully left behind. This type of laughing was quite frightening. Furthermore, it would occasionally reverberate in space and time. Amatsu found it easy to ignore time and space. Amatsu, what the hell are you doing? Captain Marvel couldn't help but feel irritated. She was racing after Amatsu and yelling at him because she thought he was insane. He was able to change the sequence of everything and disregard space and time. He might even break the rules of their planet. Furthermore, his activities drastically disturbed the Earth's balance, causing widespread alarm. Who was going to handle this type of thing? Amatsu refused to listen to any counsel. He wanted these folks to think he was insane. Ha 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 ha! Amatsu gave a goofy smile. He was really pleased to see all of this happen. He had destroyed nearly all of the main galaxies, and his challenge letter had reached every part of the Earth. Everyone already knew he was attempting to challenge Naruto. However, Amatsu believed that Naruto lacked the courage to accept the challenge. He believed he still needed to do something to persuade him to come out and face his challenge. I simply want to challenge Naruto. Although it has nothing to do with you, this may compel Naruto to come out, so why not? Ha 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 ha. Amatsu continued to glare at Captain Marvel with an angry attitude. He liked witnessing Captain Marvel's expression at this exact time. This phrase was funny. You're nuts. Do you realize how much harm you've caused to this universe? You are doing this for your own selfish reasons. Eventually, another deity will deal with you. When the moment comes, you won't even have time to repent it. Captain Marvel shouted. She even tried to fight back, but Amatsu appeared to be able to traverse across time and space at will. He would come here and then go somewhere else. However, his voice was audible everywhere. Simply encountering this kind of arrogance once was enough. His goal was straightforward. He only wanted Naruto to come out and take his challenge. You can't beat me. Do not squander your energies. All I want is to challenge Naruto. If you don't want to die, simply invite him to come out and take my challenge. His expression altered abruptly, and his gaze became fixed. His savage features also had a serene demeanor. Ha 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 ha. You're terrified of me, right? A bunch of fools. Amatsu quickly returned to his old wild face. Amatsu's challenge letters were scattered around the planet, along with his wild laughter and the scars of the single universe. It was a wreck. People on Earth were aware that this was a calamity. Every face on Earth was filled with terror and fear. They didn't know where this beast originated from. They simply knew that this monster, Amatsu, would not let them go easy. What a horrible lunatic. He not only ignored the universe's laws, but also attempted to change them. This was likewise a really terrifying situation. Captain Marvel, we need to make sure that people stay at home and don't go out before this matter is over. Nick Fury was only able to come up with this idea after much thought. He didn't know what to do. He did not desire this type of finish. After receiving a signal from Nick Fury, Spider-Man promptly organized everything and evacuated everyone in time. He couldn't let everyone continue to emerge on the street since it was just too unsafe. They may be wiped out at any time, with little opposition. They couldn't let this happen. Nick Fury continued to yell instructions. Captain Marvel, shall we send some fighters and pilots to try to drop some bombs on the insane Amatsu? Will this make him angry? Nick Fury was still determined to find a solution as quickly as possible because he could not satisfy Amatsu's demands. Telling them to seek for Naruto was just as horrible as murdering them. They didn't dare to touch Naruto. Instead than agitating Naruto, it was preferable to deal with Amatsu. After all, Amatsu had directly influenced the rules of their planet, as well as time and space. The Earth's order appeared to be entirely changed. Nick Fury understood that they would have to make further sacrifices today. However, he was unsure whether they would be meaningful because he was unfamiliar with Amatsu's powers. He was a maniac who wished to ruin everything. I am afraid that will not help. Amatsu may tamper with logic, laws, and notions. He can even generate life and toy with souls. Not to mention his ability to manipulate minuscule particles, time, and space. Because he regards them as toys, his genuine powers should be enhanced. We can't handle him. Captain Marvel couldn't stand saying these words, but she had no option. She could only say the truth, else Nick Fury would get overconfident. When the time arrives, it will be the humans who face serious injury. Their collective vision fostered a united community. It was irrelevant whether they were confronting Thanos in the past or addressing Amatsu in the present. This was a conflict that was destined for victory. Their options were limited, as the ongoing actions of Amatsu threatened the very existence of humanity within this universe. They would vanish permanently. Experiencing defeat would represent their greatest failure. Nick Fury recognized that, as a leader, he could not permit this situation to unfold. He also could not allow the Earth to be destroyed by his actions. They needed to exercise restraint. Nevertheless, this is the only course of action available to us. That is the sole course of action available to us. Nick Fury believed he had no alternative. The sole resource they possessed was merely pilots. In addition to this, they possessed no other enigmatic abilities. Ultimately, they were not deities, they were simply regular individuals. They aimed to achieve a good quality of life. It would be unwise to offend either party. It was more advantageous to prioritize one perspective over the other. Furthermore, Naruto had provided them with a significant advantage. He successfully saved Earth by eliminating Thanos. This was one of the factors that contributed to Nick Fury's respect for Naruto. The Amatsu exhibited aggressive behavior, consistently attacking individuals indiscriminately. He exhibited a complete lack of dignity. Consequently, Nick Fury believed that he should not hold Amatsu in high regard. What significance does his power hold? He was merely a more formidable individual with erratic tendencies. Spider-Man, Hulk, and other superheroes are safeguarding us, allowing us to maintain a sense of calm, correct? Ultimately, they are the individuals who have faced a confrontation with Thanos. This Amatsu cannot possibly exceed Thanos in power, can it? Nick Fury remained determined to provide support to Captain Marvel. He was confident in their ability to overcome Amatsu. They were left with no alternative but to proceed in this manner. This and that are entirely distinct matters. Amatsu is the most powerful mutant across the multiverse. Conversely, Thanos has also triumphed over numerous formidable entities within the singular universe. Their personalities are not comparable to one another. Thanos exhibited a relentless and harsh demeanor, deeply influenced by the notion of death. However, Amatsu exhibits highly erratic behavior. There is no requirement to regard him as an ordinary individual. Captain Marvel experienced some uncertainties, yet she chose not to express them. She was uncertain about her thoughts. Will there be additional opportunities for this type of engagement? She consistently sensed that there was an absence of something essential. What is causing your hesitation? We have successfully arrived at this stage. Nick Fury exhibited considerable apprehension. He was uncertain about the future of his confidence. However, he did not require an excessive amount. This is quite a significant scene. Natasha shared the same sentiment. Despite the understanding that victory was unlikely, they felt compelled to put forth their utmost effort. Natasha participated in the conflict against Thanos, which left a significant impact on her. This impression was more than a mere sensation. Captain Marvel's expression hardened, and a sharp glint appeared in her eyes. She aimed to confront Amatsu immediately. Captain Marvel served as the foundation of Nick Fury's confidence, as her strength in the battle against Thanos was widely recognized. Nick Fury was encountering challenges in identifying a solution, and even Captain Marvel had started to exhibit some reluctance. She was uncertain about how to address this matter. However, Nick Fury was currently experiencing some concern as he was uncertain about how to address this situation. His fighter jets appeared to be ineffective against Amatsu. This Amatsu possessed the capability to manipulate time and space. How could they possibly contend with him? We must determine Amatsu's intentions following the discovery of Naruto. What was the purpose of his arrival on Earth and the issuance of the challenge letter? Captain Marvel found this situation to be quite unusual. What could be the rationale behind Amatsu's actions? What was the purpose of undertaking this, ultimately? What has prompted the increased interest from various deities in Naruto lately? What was the secret of Naruto that incited such envy in others that they even contemplated taking his life? Even the living tribunal was unable to affect Naruto. What was the reason behind Amatsu's arrogance? Captain Marvel considered this situation to be particularly unusual. What has prompted the gods of the multiverse to arrive on Earth recently? Did they believe that Earth was a communal space? They had the freedom to arrive and depart at their convenience. This exceeded expectations. Indeed, but what steps should we take to thoroughly investigate this matter? What approach should we take to pose questions given his current attitude? Natasha experienced a sense of confusion as well. Based on Amatsu's appearance as shown via the satellite, it was likely that such an individual would not respond to them. He exhibited erratic behavior. It is also conceivable that he was unaware of the implications of his statements. How could one expect such an individual to maintain a clear mind? His mind was likely overwhelmed. Was it not clear that such an individual would not respond to them? I will make an effort. Captain Marvel was the initial individual to voice her thoughts. She was the sole individual capable of accomplishing this, as she was scarcely regarded as a deity. She was the sole individual capable of communicating with Amatsu. At a minimum, it would be challenging for Amatsu to inflict any harm on her. Although she may face potential risks, her life would still be relatively secure. However, if it were any other hero, they might not have the capability to return. Understood. Please exercise caution. Nick Fury was limited to that statement. He was also in a state of helplessness. He could solely depend on Captain Marvel. Moreover, her statements were indeed logical. Upon Captain Marvel's arrival before Amatsu, she immediately launched an attack with a brilliant light. Nevertheless, he emerged entirely unscathed, which took her by surprise. This situation is not logically justifiable. Is it possible that my power has been cancelled? Although Captain Marvel appeared perplexed, her expression had already been observed by Amatsu. This was an opportunity he could not afford to overlook. He desired to observe the perplexed and apprehensive expressions of those around him. That illustrates the severity of his condition. Upon being attacked, he altered the fabric of time and space, effectively modifying reality. Consequently, Captain Marvel's powers had no impact on him, leaving her entirely ensnared. Rather than merely capturing her, he could have redirected this assault back at Captain Marvel. However, he showed no interest in her. His primary objective was to manipulate the abilities of these individuals to lead to their own destruction, thereby compelling Naruto to confront him. He was solely focused on that matter. This characteristic contributed to his significant threat level. He exhibited behavior akin to that of a violent individual, inflicting harm on innocent people indiscriminately. He believed that by causing the suffering of more innocent individuals, he could draw the attention of others, demonstrating his significant power. Amatsu perceived that others regarded him as highly powerful. Could you please clarify the situation? What actions have you taken regarding my situation?
Captain Marvel found herself in a state of confusion. What is this? What led to this situation? She was astonished by the reality of her confinement, unable to make any movement. I possess a strong aptitude for manipulating logical frameworks. Your attempts at manipulation and covert strategies are ineffective against me. I regret to inform you that you do not qualify as my opponent. Amatsu had never regarded the Earthlings of this particular universe with any seriousness. What does it matter if his opponent is Captain Marvel? He intended to proceed with his plans regardless of any external influences. That was the situation at hand, nonetheless. She was unable to take any action to prevent him. Boom! An explosion occurred abruptly, precisely at the location where Captain Marvel was positioned. An explosion occurred, resulting in the complete destruction of the ground. Nonetheless, Captain Marvel emerged entirely unscathed. Amatsu was responsible for the installation of this bomb. Rather than inflicting physical harm, he aimed to inflict psychological harm on Captain Marvel. He believed that enjoying himself would be impossible if Captain Marvel were to perish in such a manner. That was the reason he was gradually undermining Captain Marvel's mental defenses, piece by piece, to derive enjoyment from the process. If this persists, she may soon lose her composure. You are behaving irrationally. If you have intentions to harm yourself or me, please act swiftly. Refrain from unprofessional behavior. Captain Marvel was currently experiencing a heightened level of agitation. Despite her resilience, she found this grievance unbearable. In contrast, Amatsu appreciated such a scene. He appreciated observing the individuals who had not succeeded before him. This instilled a sense of victory in him. All other matters were insignificant. He was accustomed to engaging in activities involving the manipulation of others' souls. On this occasion, he was engaging in psychological manipulation with her. He considered it highly stimulating. Are you considering ending your life? I cannot permit this. Amatsu was conversing with a notably cunning expression. This was quite amusing. Nevertheless, given that this incident had already occurred, she was unable to take any action. Amatsu was the most powerful mutant in the Marvel multiverse. Nevertheless, he was entirely dissatisfied with this. Acquiring the heart of the universe was his primary objective. Should he seize this opportunity to access the Beyond domain, his future development prospects would significantly improve. He was unstoppable, and that was a fact. This was neither the first nor the second instance of him engaging in an attack on a singular universe. He was determined to do whatever it took to achieve his goal. Currently, the vast array of bombs he possesses represents the most significant threat to Earth. Furthermore, his challenge letter consistently reached every corner of the Earth. From the perspective of the superheroes, halting Amatsu was indeed the top priority. Captain Marvel had previously informed them that they must confront that individual. It was that straightforward. It is advisable for them to proceed with the action. There was no requirement for any elaborate elements. You are engaging in a perilous endeavor. Unexpectedly, Captain Marvel erupted in anger. She could not accept that Amatsu was engaging in such actions towards Earth. It is undeniable that Captain Marvel exemplifies charisma as a female superhero, and her abilities could almost elevate her to a divine status. This identity was particularly significant. In fact, Amatsu exhibited a level of confidence that lacked discernment. Captain Marvel redirected a bomb towards Amatsu. The explosive device rapidly transformed into vapor. Utilizing the cover of the smoke, Captain Marvel seamlessly blended into the crowd. Her strength must be recognized and valued. She possessed the ability to fight, yet she preferred to avoid causing excessive damage. Consequently, she withdrew as she was unable to overcome Amatsu independently. The personnel in the Sword Bureau were monitoring the satellite surveillance and observed the activities of Captain Marvel. They demonstrated remarkable courage in a moment. In that moment, they realized there was no longer a reason to fear Amatsu, as Captain Marvel, an exceptionally formidable ally, stood by their side. They were experiencing a sense of fortunate optimism. This issue was not determined solely by them. The decision was made collectively by all the heroes. Indeed, even Amatsu was taken aback by the level of explosive power displayed. Several heroes arrived at the scene, motivated by a desire to support Captain Marvel in this challenging situation. For the superheroes to successfully defeat Amatsu, it was essential for them to collaborate effectively.
Despite his initial shock at the situation, Amatsu responded with remarkable speed. This was not the initial occasion on which he had encountered such a phenomenon. While Captain Marvel's strength was considerable, it remained essential for him to thoroughly assess the situation. I have previously communicated that my purpose for being here is to locate Naruto, not to engage with you. Amatsu began to speak in a normal tone. In fact, he himself did not anticipate altering his tone. Nonetheless, this voice remained identifiable. Nonetheless, Amatsu preferred to keep his normalcy concealed from others. He exhibited erratic behavior, thus there was no necessity for him to feign normalcy. While Captain Marvel had not yet engaged in a formal battle with Amatsu, she had already sensed his formidable power. She had not anticipated encountering a mutant of such strength. Indeed, Captain Marvel found it amusing when Amatsu mentioned that his sole purpose for being here was Naruto. Even the other superheroes found it hard to believe, as it raised the question if Amatsu truly intended to avoid conflict. What would motivate him to inflict harm on Earth? What would motivate him to annihilate the Andromeda Galaxy within this singular universe? The destruction was indeed irreversible. Their previous experiences quickly evoked feelings of sorrow and frustration. The fundamental capability was essential for survival in the universe. If that is the situation, what prompts you to persist in walking on Earth while holding a challenge letter? What is the relevance of this to Earth? What is your reason for seeking Naruto? Captain Marvel, having listened to Amatsu, demonstrated the confidence to pursue further inquiries. Otherwise, she would remain unaware of the situation, as Amatsu may not provide her with the opportunity to learn the answers to these questions. She now had the opportunity she had been waiting for. Clearly, Captain Marvel aimed to apprehend Amatsu, as the ongoing situation posed risks to both the superheroes and the general public. Certainly, I arrived here for a significant purpose. I arrived with the intention of ending his life. Amatsu abruptly reconsidered and revised his response. He believed that directly referencing the heart of the universe could lead to Captain Marvel seizing it from him. While Captain Marvel possessed considerable strength, she was certainly not a match for him. In the event of a confrontation between the two, Amatsu would likely emerge as the victor. What is your motivation for wanting to end his life? Captain Marvel exhibited a keen interest upon hearing this. What has led to a significant number of individuals expressing a desire to harm Naruto recently? Initially, it was the Living Tribunal, followed by Amatsu. He is the second individual to arrive here for Naruto in such a brief period. That is quite unusual. What seems to be the issue? Is it possible that Naruto possesses something that they all desire? Nick Fury, overseeing the situation via satellite surveillance, was aware of their conversation. At this moment, he was genuinely interested and wished to engage in a discussion with Natasha. At this point, Natasha had become his trusted confidant. That is the reason he was not cautious of her in any way. I am also uncertain. However, I have consistently believed that Naruto is a complex individual. Natasha promptly communicated her inner feelings to him. She maintained a notable interest in Naruto. Ultimately, a deity of such stature resided on Earth, and he was not an individual they would risk offending. They were only able to observe him from a distance. He is quite an intriguing individual. The observation of the dialogue between Captain Marvel and Amatsu persisted. This was a highly stressful situation. It is possible that Amatsu may launch another attack on Earth. If he did, they would not be able to maintain their position. May I inquire if you are familiar with the concept of the heart of the universe? As anticipated, he still informed Captain Marvel about this. Despite the confidential nature of the matter, he believed that, given his control over the situation, he could express it openly. Ultimately, this matter would eventually be his, regardless. He was untroubled by the possibility of others discovering it. He believed he was the most skilled and possessed greater power than Naruto. He believed that Naruto was intimidated by him, prompting him to conceal himself and refrain from accepting the challenge. He ought to be concerned about the possibility of being defeated by him and the potential loss of the heart of the universe. Amatsu's eyes turned crimson as he contemplated the matter. The ambition reflected in Amatsu's eyes for the heart of the universe was unmistakable. He could no longer tolerate the situation. He must expedite Naruto's departure from his location without delay, as he could no longer afford to wait. The core of the cosmos. At that moment, Captain Marvel experienced a degree of confusion. She was somewhat surprised that Naruto possessed the heart of the universe, recognized as the premier divine artifact within the Marvel universe. It is understandable that numerous individuals were seeking out Naruto. This matter is not one that can be easily elucidated. I will be direct. I would like Naruto to emerge and confront me directly. If he fails to comply, I will take drastic measures against the Earth. I will take decisive action to dismantle this single universe. Amatsu promptly presented his ultimatum. Detonating a singular universe presented a significant challenge. In addition to compelling Naruto to reveal himself, he had no other intentions. What should be destroyed? Is he capable of doing that? It is difficult to ascertain his state of mind. Nick Fury expressed his anger. How could he assert that he would annihilate the singular universe? What is the total number of lives that exist in the universe? Is it conceivable that someone would undertake such an action? It was quite unfortunate. He truly is. We can only anticipate that he possesses a sense of ethics. Natasha was equally incensed. She also believed that this Amatsu was irrational. Why jeopardize their universe when he was merely searching for Naruto? Would it not be more advantageous for him to seek out Naruto? I hope he reacts immediately. It appears that he is becoming increasingly frustrated. It is possible that he could indeed bring about the destruction of this universe if Naruto does not emerge to confront him. He possesses the capability to do so. Captain Marvel promptly contacted Nick Fury to request that he make the necessary arrangements at the earliest opportunity. Spider-Man, could you please search for Naruto? Could he be approached to address this matter personally? Nick Fury was compelled to dispatch a superhero for this task due to the absence of any suitable alternatives. Certainly, I will attend to it immediately. While Spider-Man consented to search for Naruto, he harbored some concerns regarding the potential risks this situation might pose to Naruto. The mutant before them exhibited considerable strength. This creature exhibits significant strength. However, he must consult me if he intends to cause harm to Earth. Nick Fury maintained his determination to safeguard Earth. He believed that this was his responsibility. Throughout this period, he has been engaged in efforts to safeguard the Earth. Despite lacking any obligation, he chose to act in this manner to set a precedent for others, given his leadership role. The remaining individuals were still anticipating his support, and he could not let them down. Failure to address this matter could lead to significant repercussions. Conversely, Naruto was dining with Hela in the manor. This meal appeared to require a significant amount of time to prepare. Both individuals exhibited hesitance in departing. Nevertheless, they understood that departure was inevitable when the moment arrived, as Naruto still needed to address certain issues. Surprisingly, this Amatsu demonstrates considerable persistence. He lacks sound judgment. Hela had already sensed a foreboding premonition from her dominion over death. However, she did not anticipate that this premonition would intensify progressively. This Amatsu clearly possessed the resources to exhibit arrogance. That is why Naruto had to be the one to address the situation. He is pursuing his demise. I was considering the possibility of preserving his life. Naruto had never regarded Amatsu with any significance. That is the reason he has not taken action thus far. Despite Amatsu's provocations, Naruto chose not to engage, having recently confronted the living tribunal and preferring to avoid further conflict at that moment. It appeared that he needed to address Amatsu's behavior, as it was inappropriate. Shall we proceed? Hela was fully prepared and awaited Naruto's communication. She was consistently prepared to accompany Naruto at any moment. Ultimately, even the most distant and aloof figure can undergo transformation. Nonetheless, her temperament remained evident. Let us proceed. Naruto completed his meal, grasped Hela's hand, and together they proceeded into the spatial channel. They then manifested before everyone in an instant. Naruto's appearance captured the attention of the entire audience instantly. Nonetheless, the expressions conveyed through these gazes were distinct. There were varying reactions. Some expressed concern, others remained apathetic, while a few engaged in light-hearted teasing. For instance, Captain Marvel expressed concern regarding Naruto, while Amatsu's demeanor indicated eagerness as he prepared to meet Naruto. However, Naruto did not align with his expectations. He appeared to be an average individual, and he presented himself as quite well-groomed. Nonetheless, this did not diminish Amatsu's contempt. Upon observing Naruto, he grew increasingly confident in his ability to overcome him with ease. He perceived Naruto as lacking the qualities of a worthy opponent due to his seemingly ordinary appearance. Despite his seemingly ordinary appearance, he was still referred to as the God of Earth. This title was highly esteemed. Amatsu believed he would seize all that was associated with Naruto. His glory, the essence of the universe, and his existence as well. Are you the character Naruto? Amatsu observed that all attention was directed towards Naruto. Consequently, he was confident that this individual was, without a doubt, Naruto. Nevertheless, he needed to seek clarification, as the heart of the universe held significant importance to him. Are you the individual seeking to challenge me? Naruto refrained from responding to Amatsu's inquiry. He posed a question instead. Naruto preferred not to focus excessively on this mutant. However, the individual had crossed a line he deemed unacceptable. Therefore, he would not permit him to leave. Naruto consistently perceived that the deities of the Marvel multiverse exhibited a tendency towards forgetfulness, as this occurrence was not unprecedented for him. It is unacceptable for them to continue to provoke him repeatedly. Were they not aware of his temperament? The present Naruto was not an individual they could intimidate at will. Indeed, it is I. Do you have any apprehensions about me? Are you aware of my identity? If you were aware, you would no longer be engaging in this conversation with me. Rather, you would simply kneel. Amatsu erupted in laughter without hesitation. Upon encountering Naruto, he perceived that Naruto did not possess the level of power attributed to his legendary status. He was merely an average individual. In addition to contemplating who had claimed that Naruto possessed great power, Amatsu found himself wanting to laugh at this moment. He believed that he could readily overcome Naruto. Oh! Is that the case? Naruto regarded him with a look of disbelief, as though he were confronting someone unhinged. He exhibited a notable level of eccentricity and arrogance. Who provided you with the confidence to confront me? Is it possible that he exhibited unwarranted confidence? This small measure of self-confidence could have serious consequences. Naruto had already undergone numerous battles. From his perspective, Amatsu was merely an impulsive mutant. Aside from that, he experienced no other sensations. Naruto initially intended to disregard Amatsu, however, Amatsu continued to provoke him repeatedly. He even obliterated the Andromeda galaxy of this singular universe, and his challenge letters were disseminated across every corner of Earth. If Naruto has yet to arrive, it may lead Amatsu to believe that Naruto is intimidated by him and lacks the courage to confront him. He was prepared to instruct this individual, who seemed unaware of the vastness of the sky, in a manner that would convey an important lesson. Furthermore, while this Earth may not hold significant value to him and he might be indifferent to its destruction, he would not permit anyone to annihilate this universe. As Hela had absorbed the authority of death, her existence was confined to this singular universe. This is the reason this singular universe remains indestructible. Failure to address this matter could lead to significant repercussions. Naruto encountered numerous individuals with intentions to annihilate the Earth. For instance, Thanos aimed to annihilate Earth, but ultimately, he was thwarted by Naruto. This time, he planned to proceed in the same manner. Nevertheless, he would exercise caution. Impulsiveness was detrimental. Naruto would no longer provide Amatsu with any further opportunities. This does not align with Naruto's character. My strength provides me with this courage. Are you aware of my capabilities? I am capable of organizing all elements effectively. I have the ability to disregard time and space, as well as the laws governing the multiverse. I possess the ability to alter the entire multiverse, modifying timelines and the principles of cause and effect. Individuals of your caliber are unlikely to possess these abilities. I understand that this information may have left you feeling unsettled, and you might be inclined to distance yourself from the situation, correct? Amatsu would certainly not be easily intimidated by Naruto's words. He exhibited erratic behavior and showed little regard for the opinions of others. He was solely focused on his own thoughts and believed he possessed the capability to eliminate Naruto. He believed that this task was overly simplistic. Thank you for watching this amazing video. If you enjoyed it, please consider liking and subscribing to my channel for more content. I look forward to seeing you in the next video.